Yeah, man. So you got it. What you said, I fully agree. Um, Meaning that there was some friction slash high energy activation that between you and me, I mean, this is definitely there is some kind of pain body there with the past, with rejection, abandonment, stuff like that. But that this comes up, and then you used some technique in order to alleviate it, in order to make it go away, you know, using some spiritual tool in order to make it go away so you don't feel that. Um, and actually all the being that you develop for all these attention exercises and all these things that you've done during the first conscious shock, yeah, first conscious shock, being more aware, more present, more of that, all of this is just meant for Mike too, to you enhance your container ability to sustain stronger energy. And so what is required is for the second conscious shock, which is to be very present to this really unpleasant energy, and to allow it. Um, yeah, and just a moment, a little bit more. I'll get to you, Mike. So yeah, that's what I recommend to whenever it comes to not do breath work to get rid of it, or to, yeah, but you can engage more presence to be more aware of it. Your job is that you are like a high paid scientist, Austin Salas scientist, that is paid $10,000 to really observe this, how it is, and where, oh, it's from here and it goes there, and then it's like this, and then I'm sweating, and to to stay as witnessing this. Don't go into neti yet. Don't go. That's again is using neti to not feel it. Uh, so it's more like take the hit. Take the hit while being aware. Let it take the burn. It's not going to kill you. And what is required is also, I mean, that reveals to me there is some some file there of rejection and abandonment that is good to address it, and you can't address it with fourth way tools. It's more like that requires processing and all of that. I can help you out, whatever. But so more like the right tool would be when you leave her or when you're about to meet her, and it's this comes to be like, oh wow, okay, get more present, breathe, and then just notice where this is and welcome the best you can, and keep breathing and being present to it. What I would recommend you do, you see what it says. Like if that thing were to say something, let it be as honest as, will be like, and bring her up, and you see her, and I mean, I guess without teaching you new tools, will be like, okay, so if this thing were to say something, what would it say? So you mine it, because not just stay with like a hot potato, because that has thoughts in it and words to say, oh, I think she doesn't like me. She may leave. I'm afraid she will leave me. So I will just allow that this radioactive stuff bubbles up, bubbles of thought, and just be with each one of them one at a time. Don't dispute it. Don't net it. Just the fact that you are aware of it, that is net enough. You are seeing it. So see what it says. Yeah. Oh, I'm afraid that this. Okay, let it be allowed. Yeah, there is this reveals some younger, part of you. What else? Oh, I'm afraid that this. And what else? Yeah. So you'll see, as you allow the thought content in the radioactive thing, that will come because it's been heard. And definitely I would recommend to do a customized session of, but without trying to psychologize it away, but to meet that there's a freaking out little boy there. I don't know what happened with you and all that, and so I will send you some. I have some actually something like surfing uncomfortable feelings. I will send this. Actually be good for Mike as well as for uh, both Mike and Austin. And a little bit of this mining, before you came to me, I had a long phase of deep emotional processing using Scott Killaby's stuff, and some of them are very good. So maybe make a note and remind me, hey man, send me those things, because some of the people here are already familiar with it, but you need this process of mining, which when there's a charged thing, it's not just energy there. There is actually thought, there's feeling, there's resistance to feeling, there is a memory, there is. So if I were to work with you, we are kind of unpacking this uncomfortableness, and it discharges, and there's some healing, yeah. And I wouldn't even call it false personality, man. It's because you say, oh, it's false personality, oh, no, I have to be more present. No, this is like slightly different. You have to be very caring and gentle with this some innocence that's been shocked in some way or something, and to kind of to welcome it gently and carefully and lovingly. Yeah. So
Yeah,
take a
I,
note,
I
remind me to send you some stuff.
yeah, yeah, I appreciate that, and that's exactly what had happened. I was like, I was seeing the rejection. I was brought back to a memory. I was,
Yeah.
it was so that's what I meant. Is like this. You described it perfectly, right? This like radioactive substance is so thick and it's so heavy and it's yeah, yeah, it was very, very, very interesting, and I did do my best to take that perspective. This almost like curiosity, like, okay, what are you trying to tell me, or
Yeah.
what is it that I've been trying to alleviate? What is it that I've been trying to ignore? And that's been very helpful. Yes.
Yeah, let it be like a child, and he's like, I'm really afraid. I'm afraid she's not gonna like me, and like, yes, I'm really afraid, and just to not process this innocence and to just hear it, be the father. It's like, oh, tell me, buddy. Oh yeah, it's scary, huh? Huh. Mm. Now, I mean, I don't know where you are with this self-processing pain body tools, but it's better to do it with someone. But you can go like, hey, how old is this? If this had an age, what would it? Oh, it's like a 4-year-old. Okay, I put a hand on it, like, hey, buddy, it's okay. I mean, if you want to do something, when you hear what he says and all of that, you can be like, hey, man, we are gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Even if she rejects us, it's okay. We're gonna be fine. Uh, yeah, but that is some kind of trauma, attachment trauma there. I smell from far away. It's like
Yeah.
thousands of miles, but I smell it. So send me a text to or message to send you some stuff.
Thank you, Mike.
Actually, the relationship, that's the thing. There are, especially if strong attractions in these women that you really like, those are great opportunity because they are evoking some kind of really younger parts of you that are deep there underneath. And they will never come out unless there's a beautiful woman that you really like.
You're right, right, right. That's why I was like, man, this is yeah, this is like some real stuff. Like I know it wasn't just like uh oh, I'm being judgmental or I'm criticizing somebody or I'm mad at this person, I'm frustrated at my brother or oh, this person kind of looked at me weird. I was like, oh no, this is like heavy, heavy stuff. So yeah, I will definitely look into that and thank you for I guess in some sense I was thinking that maybe the allowing would be enough, but I can see how uh really looking into it would be helpful for me in some sense. So appreciate that.
Yeah, the allowing is good, but I sense a deeper file there, and so you want to bring it out more. Uh, If you have already done that a bunch of times and you know clearly what it is and you have felt it, and then just allowing might be enough, because it comes like bloop, 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 bloop. But then the trick is that now just some part of it comes and you don't even know. It's some kind of memory, actually, Austin. That freaking out thing, it's a memory. Memories are not just a memory in the mind, but that state of like, that's a memory. It's trauma.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And all the fourth way work and all the stuff you've done should actually help you to know that you're going to be safe, and to take the burn. Burn and let it devour you, you know. I will leave you this with this one with Francis. I remember I was at a retreat and there was some guy, very nice guy, who was saying, like, he was pretty advanced guy, so to say, not new guy, and he would be like, I don't know, Francis, but it's this, it's so uncomfortable, and it's these things, and like it keeps coming, and even now I'm here, like, what to do with this? And Francis was like, kind of stayed for a moment in the gap, and then he said, I'll tell you what to do. Let it devour you, man. Let it devour. And then he chuckled like that, because ultimately he knew that this is it's going to be special.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the problem is that I really like that, let it devour you, but that we have so much suppression and repression and fear of feelings that we can't. So we need some additional unpacking tools to let it devour me, because there's so much investment to not let it devour me.
Right. That reminds me of the Ramana Maharshi story where I think he's having a panic attack or something along the lines there, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I think I'm gonna die," and then he sits and he lays down like, "All right, I'm gonna experience death," something like that, and just allowing that. And that was I thought about that when I was going through this. I'm like, "Oh, this is making some sense now. Let's see what this is about." And yeah, eventually it subsided. It came back again, but again, it's just a realization like, "Oh, this is a very it's just the tricks of the ego, the tricks of memory, the tricks of thought." It's a very interesting thing. It really is.
Yeah, there was his so-called, I don't know, awakening story, death story, when he was a teenager. But there's another story with Ramana that actually may help with Mike. I really like this story. He was already like wise sage, and this lady comes to him, and old lady, and it was just crying and crying, and she said, my husband and my 5 children, they were all killed in a car crash like a few months ago. And I have been to all the teachers to try to help me out. And they told me that, this and that, past life, that you'll meet them later, or this is this, or whatever. Everybody told her this, and it didn't help me. And Ramana just listened to her, and he started crying. So he just wept with her. He just wept. And that was the best thing. That's what she needed. She needed to weep, and no karma, no past life, no solution, no, and he didn't go into, hey, you are that in which the grief appears. You are not that, and no. He was so open, and so he felt all of that, and then he allowed it in him. You know what I mean?